Right, that's the first clap, not a full clap. We got movies, refrigerators, money for nothing, and the chicks for free. Look out, baby, that's the way to do it. I want my MTV. Clap number 2. Hello, welcome tonight. Again. Yeah, welcome tonight again, sure. Continue with our audio. We're closing again. This second season has come to an end. And yeah, I've got some food here that I'm going to be eating. So this might be a sort of a long one. First of all, let's talk about my food. Okay, try to. My desk's a bit of a mess actually. There's like beer cans and stuff around, and stuff like that. So I'll lift this up for you. So I'm eating about a pan because I'm an old cowboy apparently, and I don't know. It's quite a lot of food there actually. So, what have we got here? What the hell is that? Well, I'll tell you what it is. We've got a couple of different packs of noodles. Packs of noodles with some. I put some mashed potato into it. Okay, because I thought that'd be a good idea. You know, a smart person. You know, if you had leftovers of this, you might fry it. But I'll probably eat all of this food. Then on the other side, you've got mushy peas. I put some gravy granules in because, you know, classic, disgusting food technique, apparently. You know, you've all seen YouTube cooking. They like their mayonnaise and their gravy granules, don't they? Then I've got a selection of sauces here. I'm just putting some peri peri sauce in the middle, sort of dip things in. Then I've got some more Jamaican style hot sauce here. I'm going to put that on everything in a pan. And then on the noodles, I've got sesame seed oil. Wow, is this stuff delicious? Sesame oil. And on the peas, I've got Worcester sauce as well. So I'm excited. Now move the microphone. Hope it's not fall over. So I'll move this over. Now, thank you guys for coming across this video. If you come across this video, and if you've been enjoying these, thank you. I hope there's some good stuff there. And you know, if I'm not completely out of my mind, you know, there could be actually, we could be onto stuff here. And I know it's been a bit sloppy, but it's going to get better. Also, I'd like to just say, scissors are amazing. They're like chopsticks, but like machinist chopsticks. You know, you can cook with them, you can lift things up if you're delicate, and you know, simple. I like it. I like it. Anyway, so what we're talking about, this is just closing. This is just closing. It's a closing video. It's rude to talk my mouth on it, but I can't like eat up in my tongue then. So maybe that's a sign. I guess, would you sit through the breaks? I don't know. I probably shouldn't eat. But I can't do cuts, can I? Because that's off brand, isn't it? Well, I'm going to talk with my mouth full then, maybe. Scoffing a lot. Scoffing it along. So yeah. We're just wrapping it up. Okay, we're wrapping up this half season. This was a sort of a bonus season, just because of the Corona stuff. I did actually want to be filming some other things around the place, like around just everywhere, like High Street, England, like locations, like different things, and moving into the next season. But that was sort of a little bit delayed, but it's okay because we're still on track. And I think what's going to happen, sorry, if I can get October done properly, I should be hopefully releasing stuff here and there in October. So it might not be as regular as it was before, but I've got other stuff to do as well. The start of the next month, I've got to launch a business, which I'm quite excited about. So hopefully that's not going to like pause my YouTube career, but we might see some. I might follow the action actually there. It's going to be quite interesting. And obviously, it's well, not obviously, but it's for a non-profit. It's all going into a non-profit organisation I'm running. So I might be publicising that as well. That's going to be very exciting. Now, There's a few videos I wanted to do tonight, released today, which I haven't done. I know the previous one was mask work, and I think that's a good one to leave it on. Because I don't know if I actually said in the mask work episode, but there was a lot of developments to lead up to what is Squibs that you see today. It's not just something that I've thrown together and done. There's a lot of actual work went into this. I've changed the idea and the brand several times. And the original one I wanted to do in masks. And each episode I was going to call it something, and then it was going to play on words. And each time I was going to use a different name, like like Zach Brannigan does or whatever from that thing. He goes, or no, I'm famous actor James Alan McHugh. You may know me from this. No, he's from Sugar Pine 7. Hello, Sugar Pine 7. If you see this, I hope you do some more stuff again. You're a good laugh, and good media people as well, which we need to see more of on the platform, I think. Anyway, so I wanted to do like a different character name each time, depending on probably the topic. I wear a different mask as well. But then I don't know. I kind of felt like I wanted to do. I didn't want to be a guy who wears masks. Do you know what I mean? All the time. So I thought I'd work it in. You see. And then I thought, what I'll do then is I'll call myself the Universal Fool, right? And I'll still wear a half mask or something. And I'll be a sort of bard character, and everything was going to be like written like poems and stuff, and rhyming and all these sorts of things. And I was like, that's a really nice element. And I started seeing, actually, this was quite a while ago as well. And I started seeing the Garden and stuff who were wearing, they all started wearing gestury stuff, and even some of the other bands like Mac DeMarco who's doing some sort of that sort of like acidy sort of theatrical device. And I was like, wow, I'm sort of on something. But I didn't want to look like I was taken off from them as well. So I don't know, it sort of developed, and it just turned into a segment which I'd like to run in the future, which I'm going to call Bard from the Pub. Okay, pardon me, which is going to be particularly music based. Pardon me. So I'm going to be this bard character, not a jester, or not jester, sorry. I guess, well, I don't know. Yeah, not a fool, right? And be a bard. And then I'm going to go to pubs, right? And I'll hold music events, and I'll MC them, and I'll interview people before and after and stuff like this. Do a little music thing. Call it Bard from the Pub. That's quite a bit later in the seasons. But tonight, anyway. Oh, well, I think I'll close it, I guess. So then I move to Squibs, is obviously like shreds of paper. So it's sort of, you can see where the line went there. But basically, when I was writing so much, I was surrounded by just shreds of like lunacy, honestly, like just loads of little like rips up shreds of paper. And, I thought of Squibs. I thought of Squib, a damp squib, right? It's a typical bit of writing. They say, oh, that went off like a damp squib, right? I thought they were like jokes, like written bad, like badly written jokes in a damp squib, or like you write so much, you have this little piece of paper, like blot of paper, and you're writing so much that like your life's such a mess that your blot of paper is like actually wet with like just like how you like splats and stuff if you ever do like ink pens and stuff like that. And I felt like that was a good representation to what I was doing as like a writer. I had all of these shreds of paper around. I was like, oh, I'll call myself Squibs. Then I find out there's fireworks. I was like, okay, well, I guess, but I didn't want to be associated. I didn't want to look like a terrorist or something, or like a Blackbeard or something. But yeah, that's what it would come for me as like a poet advice. But anyway, it's where we are now, and there's a lot on the course of action, I'd say, and I'm still not sure what I'm going to do for next month, but we've got several elements and things, and we're going to move into more of a structure. And I know these videos were kind of slow at points and unproduced, but I did that intentionally. I didn't really want to necessarily say that because I didn't want to look like Mr. Smart Alec and turn up and be like, oh, this is how we run the show, sort of thing. So I wanted to do sort of conventional YouTube style and move like, climb into the dead carcass that is YouTube and then take it over like a puppet, right? That sort of thing. So yeah, we'll be moving into more of a scheduling. And if people want to pick up on that, and I have noticed over the years, because obviously I've been watching YouTube for coming over the years for enjoyment and out of interest, I have noticed that YouTube is still quite a cult thing, and so is media, and so is streaming, and all these sorts of things, which is nice. And I don't know, part of me wants to take up. I personally wanted to stay cult myself anyway, because I love cult things. I love like radio and that. And it's not necessarily supposed to be cult. I'm not a person who wants things to be exclusive. You know, that's the nature of radio. Is it open air? It's public and it's free. All these sorts of things. But the enthusiasts, it does seem to be like a sort of community, and those people tend to get along and be quite weird. So you know, I love that aspect rather than the alternative. It's people who are necessarily trying to be cool, who are trying to be sort of like media types or whatever, but want to be like private. You know, I hate that. I think that's a disgrace to the art, honestly. But you know, the fact that YouTube is still quite cult is interesting to me, and I feel that I don't know. I feel quite high necessarily doing stuff on the internet, and you know, I've always been on the internet, and I've never really delved too far into it. Although I've been quite prevalent, I guess, like pop my head about. But yeah, I just want to be on like the surface. Like, there's lots of things that I haven't bothered with as well because I don't endorse them. Because I believe in like open source and stuff, and I believe that's like the best things. And like, I won't. There's like where say like Windows, which I think is brilliant, and you know Bill Gates is a smart person. He gives a lot to charity and all these sorts of things. Whereas they're moving, and like I said, I might have moaned before about PlayStation as well, where they're moving into sort of like the Windows book and whatever, and they sort of lean in, get into Apple territory. Um, like it's a bit of a disappointment for me because yeah, I know Windows you've always had to pay for it and stuff, but that has always been sort of open source and stuff, haven't you? You've been able to sort of work with it and that, which I've always respected, and I've always thought the best people, you know, were like that. And if you're having to pay for something monthly or all this sort of thing, and it's not really working for you, then you're getting scammed. Frankly, you're getting scammed. You know, some people like the sheen and the package, and they don't want to get involved in it. You know, but I don't know. Maybe they do. Whatever. I don't know. I don't know. But personally, yeah, I'm a free guy, as you know. I'm all about the freedom and the public air. So yeah. But YouTube being cult is quite interesting, and don't know. It's a bit strange how people aren't more, and how old media hasn't jumped on new media more. So don't know. I feel quite honoured to actually have this chance to do this thing. Anyway, 1 second. Now tonight, right? Walk with me now. I'm going to leave the set. I'm going to. Oh, is it still recording? Yeah. I'm going to leave the set. I'm going to grab some water. Yeah. Water. I'm a lover of water as well. Talking about freedom, I love water. And you know, I'm going to go to Europe soon. I hope to do some filming in Europe. And it's strange. In parts of Europe, you can get beer cheaper than you get water, and that doesn't make any sense to me. Because obviously beer's got water in it. 1 second. And also, I don't know. Some places they won't give you free water. Obviously, if in England, if you ask for water, it's a right pretty much. If they serve food, they have to give you free water. You know, and that's I don't know. I feel like I'm that sort of person as well. That's always stood for that sort of value. So you know, good old England. Anyway, no, I'll wait. I'll wait. So here's the water, everyone, and you know, I'm actually going to try and set up some water funds and some water systems because I'm also into engineering. You know, being into this machine, this isn't just a poetic device, but it's an interest and a passion and a vocation of mine. Engineering has always been something that's been in the family and stuff, and in my life and community, and I've always respected these people quite a lot. Right. So I'd like to do some water systems and stuff and water things, and actually go around the world and try and give people quality water. It might sound like a bit of a weird thing to do, but you know, I really do like water, honestly. Yeah. Anyway, so tonight I'm back. Hello, everyone. Let me put this stuff down. These headphones ain't even dead. They're not even doing anything, so I don't know how I can put them back on. But okay, put this down here. So, something like that. Okay. I have to get another one of these, I think. These are great. That was well cheap. Good little mic, that. I had to put a bit of a wind cover on it, but I like it. Or just maybe I'll pinch them on and see what I can do though. I guess because it's plastic. Plastic it lasts forever, but you know, I don't know. Can't throw it away. It's strange. So tonight, right? I wanted to do several videos today, or at least pick a couple of them because it's fall this month. And I try and remember what the subjects were. One of them was one of them. The main one I wanted to do was about rights, and I tried to film it a couple of times. How rights, with the way we look at rights in a capitalist society, really can potentially affect us quite a lot, and doesn't really do anyone in favors. And you know what my opinions on money are, and how the sense of money and stuff, money flow, and all these sorts of things. But yeah, just the word rights and what it means in several different ways to look at it, and how if we approach the word differently, it would actually affect our lives a lot. But pardon me, I tried to do that a couple of times and I couldn't really get it down right. And I didn't really feel like I was doing it justice. So whether I'll do that again, I don't know. Another one I want to see was about Gothic gatekeeping and how Gothic's coming more into the I don't know how at least subculture is sort of blended more into main culture. And I feel like it's quite strange, and the characteristics of goth and what that means to me and to maybe to other people, and whether they like it or not, maybe some things I could offer them if that's what they're interested in. So that's something I might do again, or I might actually do maybe like a gothic spotlight or something, maybe because I love that sort of thing. And the main point was it was supposed to be there are people say you shouldn't be a gatekeeper in the goth society, but I think there are certain things, obviously, which are characteristically goth. Obviously, you don't listen to any song, oh, that's goth. I mean, maybe, I don't know. There's a flip side to it that I think as well, though. Should I don't know, like if goths are just people, then like do they have to like a certain thing, or do you have to like a certain thing for it to be gothic? But anyway, I personally do think there are similarities in what goths like, certain tones, sounds, arts, styles, ways of thinking, the poetry, the mopiness, characteristic things which define people as goths, or at least maybe they're sort of gothic attributes, which can, they're like stars, as I keep saying, the sort of idea of stars, like gothic stars. And I don't know, I think part of goth as well is to be quite open and welcoming to people. And I think, yeah, it's this sort of anti-hero thing as well. Not anti-hero, but sort of they look almost. I was saying something about this someone to this the other day about Christianity. I don't know if they were joking about Christianity. They said, "Oh, I found God," and I said, "Oh, don't bother with it." Yeah, I said, "Don't bother with it. Like you're an adult now. Like you can make up your own mind, sort of thing." And honestly, it's a massive undertaking. Yeah, that we've just been subjected to quite a lot. And if you've got to really think about Christianity, if you really want to get into Christianity, then it's not good stuff, really. Um, and I don't know, it's sort of like maths or science or something. Like when you're a child, you need a certain level of maths and science to get you to operate well in life. Um, but when you get deep into it, it gets to be quite difficult and hairy and like messed up. And people say, "Oh yeah, I don't believe in God. I don't believe in God." Well, you don't have to. But I also said another metaphor I used literally to say was someone said, "I don't believe in God anymore," because and I said, "Well, you don't believe in it, or you don't understand it." Because it's a bit like maths and stuff. You might give up on maths and say, "I'm just going to eyeball everything from now on." The reality is still there, and that might still work for you. But the intrinsities or whatever of maths and science and all these sort of things still do exist. And just because it's hard to understand doesn't mean it's not real. Just because you get things wrong, or just because somebody tells you something which is wrong, or you've been misdirected before, doesn't mean that like the truth isn't there, sort of thing. But yeah, this sort of idea anyway, that back to the guy who said, I said not to bother with Christianity. I was like, because could you imagine you're crying alone and you've never actually heard of God before? And it's just a matter of exposure or whatever I was trying to make a point with. And you're crying alone and afraid, and this priest comes up to you and he's holding like a crucifix with their Messiah pinned to the front. It's just too much to think about, isn't it? And I don't know, but back to the goth thing, I don't think that's exactly how the conversation went, but hopefully you can see what I'm saying there. Um, but yeah, what I'm trying to say is Gothic as well. They sort of made to be demonized throughout history, maybe because they're like that's the potentially the philosophy is they're meant to look like bad people, but they're actually like really decent people, or they have to be because that's what it's the characteristics of goth. And if otherwise you're spiky and black and evil, you're not goth. You're just evil. You're just evil, aren't you? So yeah, I do think goths can be quite accepting, but obviously, like not being evil is the main characteristic of being a goth. Um, but yeah, but they're still people, obviously. So that's a community issue. So that was one episode. Rights was another one, and how it could actually affect life if we looked at the word differently. What else was there? Um, so I guess I'm sort of talking about them as they are. Um, I think there was two other ones. Yeah, one of them was design school, right? And this idea of design school that doesn't exist. Another sort of like how socialist design school doesn't exist. I know there are school of designs and schools of art, but this is a political philosophy really. And I wanted to actually do a song on it, but when I was sort of doing it, I didn't want it to be too moany and political, and I couldn't really think of like a good rhythm or technique, and it didn't really feel like a musical subject. So I'm thinking I'd like to maybe do a short film on it. Do a short film on it, or what life could be like if like this sort of design school existed, like sort of like Suspiria or something. In Suspiria, if you haven't seen it, it's a brilliant film. They made a remake of it, and it was also quite good. Suspiria is a film about ballet school. This girl goes to ballet school. When she first goes there, she's quite surprised because it's all free, basically. Or at least in the remake, that happens. But I'm pretty sure that's the case in the other one as well. But yeah, so this idea that there's like schools of design and stuff, and I wanted to make the thumbnail and the symbol to be a circle with the cross and then the two black corners. Um, because there's a reference in design, in drawing, I think there's a reference mark. Apparently, I've heard before from a design teacher that um, there was like different schools of thought in the Second World War, who were anti-war, and they were also designers and stuff, and they were using the same reference points, but they were all anti-war, and I don't know if they meant to or not. So I thought it tied in well with the skunk aspect and um, design school and all this sorts of thing, and how that we don't necessarily give enough respect to these people, because technically, if you're alive and you're English or European or whatever, you're a survivor as much as anyone else of, you know, the World War. And we maybe don't give enough credit to ourselves as people and to our families and all these sorts of things and all these great people that have done so much for us, um, and actually just like praise those sort of ideas. And I feel like that's a massive shame and sort of neglected in society. But anyway, so this premise of design school itself, I saw this video because researching about design school and stuff. I wanted to make this video. I see this video about this guy and he says, "Oh, you don't need to go to design school to be a designer, right?" And he's like, "You can do all this stuff, you can learn it all at home, you can work at home, and you can make loads of money doing design at home." And I was like, "Yeah, but you're sort of missing the point here, because not only are you potentially doing designs which you don't care about for companies which are going to exploit people for products which aren't very good. I know it sounds a bit Fight Club and stuff, but you're also missing the fact that people might actually want to go to school, you know, and actually not go to school to be making money, but go to school to be doing design for free, for the love of design, to be amongst peers who are other designers. Do you know what I mean? Um, so I thought that's the two different sort of like that's the capitalists want us to be alone and making pointless money, which doesn't make any sense, for brands which are honestly sort of just rubbish and just sort of dressed up in plastic and stuff. So it's, you know, more marketing than it is anything. Or sort of the traditional design of actually doing like interesting design work and real art. And you know, that's where I always wanted to be. And I'm not going to necessarily compromise. I wouldn't go to like a university out of principle because um, I don't want the debt and I don't want to be part of a capitalist regime. So I'd prefer to just went into work and do engineering stuff. And now I'm focusing on art. But I would love there to be art schools and design schools and dance schools and these different houses and all these sorts of things. Because, you know, that's what I'm into and that's what I love, but they don't exist. So having to set them up, I think I've touched on this before, I've said this quite a few times to different people, having to set them up has been the weirdest part. Because when I didn't go into university, I thought, yeah, there's going to be an alternative field. Whether or not it might be a bit sloppy, but there's definitely be something out there. But where technology is vastly, I think, improved, we've lost touch with a lot of those sort of institutes and those sort of gatherings and stuff. My voice sounds really croaky. Sorry, it's my birthday the other day. Happy birthday to me. Um, so I might be a bit croaky. But yeah, so yeah, having to actually instate these to make these things is going to be interesting for me because obviously I'm quite dyslexic and doing things alone doesn't make any sense. Not much of a party, is it? Can't sit in the pub with my little notebook and tell jokes to myself. That doesn't make sense. But yeah, I feel like where technology and capitalism and the recession and all this sort of thing is taking its hold on us, as really we've lost touch with a lot of these sort of old structures and sort of fun things that you might have seen probably more in the 80s and 70s and stuff. Which is good because you know we are going to be able to fall back on, you know, they're all real, very real things, and they're great fun. So we have that to look forward to as well, and that's going to tie in heavily with my business. And that's another thing. Well, pardon me. My channel is going to be very much 24/7, and I'm actually going to invite you to join me, hopefully in very real institutes. And it's not going to be necessarily a case of like just recording something like, oh, you know, this is like reality TV, or it's not just going to be a case of like, oh, I'm going to talk to you now and then I'm going to go do my life. I'm going to be on the job all the time. Yeah, I'm going to be filming as much as possible, and I'm hopefully going to be able to sell you deals and parties and events and all these sorts of things because they're great fun and hopefully for cheap as anything. Now, so that's another thing. We'll hopefully do a short film on design school, goth gatekeeping, the human rights thing, and paper rights and stuff, and what that means in capitalist society, and how that might affect us. And then hopefully I'll be doing a little song after this video, which I'm not sure will happen. But yeah, I've got a couple of guitars here. I haven't really written anything, which I've been trying to do over the last few, but I haven't written anything down. So I'll probably just keep recording and then cut something out and go, once it starts sounding nice, I'll use it or something. We'll see how it goes. But maybe do a song. That's about it, really. So yeah, a lot of good stuff to look forward to. And hopefully I can get some stuff out next month for you. There might be a break. And you're probably seeing this, honestly, you might be seeing this well into the future because this is YouTube, isn't it? So maybe this is something later, or maybe you never will. But yeah, I did make these particularly as a bit of a back catalogue, and also I guess they're kind of interesting and a bit mad. But I felt like only real true fans would actually probably see these, you know, because you know when you get into a new person, you do tend to necessarily binge watch all their material. So I thought for those sort of people that are going to binge watch it, I'd leave you some like ethereal secrets or something. I don't know, or at least if it could be the case, it could be the case. It's stuff to think about anyway. You know? So that's what these have been, and I hope you've enjoyed them, and I hope we're excited for what's coming up. I've got more food. I'm probably going to eat. I don't know. I guess if you're a fan, I guess if you watch half an hour, you'd probably want me to stick around. So sit with me if you want. Not doing anything. Maybe got stuff on in the background. Maybe my voice is just nicely buzzing away in your ear, mumbling away, whatever. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm forgetting something, but I also feel like I've touched on everything. Maybe I'll check my notes. But I think we have reached the end of season 2, or season 1.5 anyway. Oh yeah, I was going to do a comedy improvisation video, which I might just do out of season. That could be just next month. Might do that. Just release it then. Because I do tell jokes. They tend to be in the moment. So if you get me going, I love to tell jokes, or make people laugh or whatever. But yeah, I guess I've made jokes of my own as well to write down. I'd probably start putting together some material. So we're going to see some of that as well, potentially. What else? Yeah, maybe I could do sketches because people seem to like sketches. That's quite classic YouTube as well. So we might see some of that. So yeah, this is sort of the back catalogue. And we're going to be moving more into traditional YouTube and then more into like old school structured stuff. And good stuff, hopefully. And thank you, really. I said I'm going to stick around, so I'll stick around to eat this. And yeah, I wonder how you're doing as well. I'd like to be quite engaged with you lot, so I'll probably have my Discords and stuff and emails and that for different things, business. Because obviously I'm not business minded, but I like to put things together. I'm not money orientated, but I'm probably quite good at making money. Like, I don't know if I said the predictions of some of the gigs that I've got, they're unreal. And hopefully, I'm working with someone at the moment. Hopefully, I think they might be taking the idea, maybe. And that's a good one. That's going to be quite fun. It's going to be run on her channel, I think, if she'll take it, or we'll do a community, or do a channel together. But that's just brilliant. It won't cost anyone anything. It's going to be fun for everyone. We could also necessarily put that money back into the community. So you could even be earning you money. But it's a very smart device technique, and it's great fun. And the predictions are unbelievable, unfathomable predictions. I'm talking like daily, like a lot of money, and it costs no money. Everything I've done and written business-wise, because business is business, isn't it? But they say, I know we've talked about this, 5 different ways to make money for nothing or whatever. But everything I do is zero money in. It won't cost me anything. It's just a matter of orchestrating stuff, and doing those techniques that I was talking about. Hopefully they'll come together. But I've got another thing that I'm starting in the next month, which I've got to get done. That's going to be threefold unbelievable money. And that's also going to be paying people as well. So I'm employing people, I'll be earning loads of money off of it, and I'll be putting that money into my other businesses, my non-profit business, which is going to make me even more money. And it's just like, once you get a good device, and assuming that you have the rights and stuff, and you can assure those rights as well, or you know how to actually attack the market, you can really do some, if you're talking like however much money it is per head, especially if you're earning these people money as well, because that's what I'm saying. Money makes money and stuff, obviously, because it's smart, it's machine. It's unreal, especially if you're helping people. If you don't have to convince people, like if you're doing something for them, they're earning money. Obviously that's going to be an allure. Now, if you can make money off of that, looking at an exponent of however much money it is per head, then aren't you? So you see how this stuff works. And I've probably got, I'm going to say, 14 plus businesses, 12 plus businesses, all different natures and even bigger structures. So I don't want to sort of count my chickens before they hatch, people. But you could be looking at the richest human being in the world soon. Because if you look at the top 10 richest people and the stuff that they're doing, some of the stuff that I'm doing isn't too far off what they're doing, and not necessarily any worse, let's say. So it can be interesting. But yeah, just innovations and putting my spin on things. And I've always been an ideas person. Pardon me, and just doing what I love. And strangely enough, a lot of them is going to be non-profit and that because obviously I'm an anarchist and that. So, well, truist. It's exciting, and hopefully I'll be able to record a lot of that and sort a lot of you out as well. Because yeah, that's the thing, you know. Squibs, especially, come up with a lot of good ideas. A lot of people come up with a lot of good ideas, but if they're not in the right places, you know, those ideas might not go anywhere. And actually pushing that idea is the hardest part. Because you can have a good idea and people turn you down, shoot you down. So me, I've just been backing up all these ideas and trying to just speak to people about it. It's been very difficult. And then I've actually been able to go through governmental systems and stuff like this. And, you know, once you realize all the help you can get, it's like, whoa, like someone's actually listening to me. And then it's just hopefully going to take off from there. But yeah, having a good idea isn't the hardest part, and neither is doing the hard work. So that can often be quite enjoyable, you know, and that's all you need. But it's actually just finding people that are actually going to listen to you, you know, because you know, if I say, oh yeah, but I'll get you into heaven, you know, it's free, and you know, I'm going to do it all for you. Oh man, get out my face. All right, strange. So yeah, yeah, I've approached people um, who are obviously successful for their own accord and sort of concern me and worry me because, you know, I offer them large amounts of money and they're not interested. I'm like, oh, well, this seems bizarre. You know, whether it's because they've already got money and they're not actually interested in it, they prefer to see me struggle, or maybe they're in an awkward situation themselves, a dangerous situation. So I do concern. I probably shouldn't say that too loud, honestly, because you know, it's concerning and earthing as well. So sorry if I've made you think about that. But we saw everyone out. I'm sure. You know, I'll tell you. I'll tell you how it's done if you want. But anyway, so I tell these girls, I can make them £2,000 a day, do all the work for them at no cost to their own or anybody else. 2,000 Great British pounds a day on a low average on the expected like the low expectancy of the traffic that they're already pulling. Right, high end, you're talking 40k a day. Okay, it doesn't cost anyone a penny, right? And then there's other things on top of that which could earn it more money, and that is on like the lowest possible traffic. You now looking at and turnover or whatever, or, you know, income or whatever, depending on the other staff, you could be looking at tenfold. So and more. So you know, we're talking half, like yeah, yeah, yeah. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable, this stuff. Okay. So if I get kidnapped now, okay, guys, then it was lovely to see you. And yeah, I'll be working for like some sort of mafia somewhere. Uh, but yeah, pardon me. If it really took off, you could be talking like this company making 500,000 daily turnover, and the shelf life on this product. You're thinking about what is this item? This holy grail is very long. The shelf life is very long, so it's not going to be, you know, a sort of daily thing either. So It's it's genius, honestly. It's brilliant. Brilliant. That's one. And then, you tell someone that, and they tell you no. What is going on here? Yeah. And I've had friends in the past where I've sorted them out. They will take things from me, advice, etc. Obviously, that's what I do. I give people advice, and they'll take it from me, and they'll shut me down because of it. And they'll either not use it or use it behind my back and not involve me because they think they're smart. And I don't know. I'm like, well, what don't you understand? I'm giving you this idea. I don't care. I get that, right? You're being an arsehole about it. That's your choice, yeah. But there's nothing big or clever about it. What you're doing, I'm giving you this thing, and they think, oh yeah, I'm gonna screw them over and rob them. I'm like, no, that's all right. That's all right. You do that. You crack on. It's sad, really. God knows why. But yes, that is the nature being an anarchist, I guess. Being a street toting manic street preacher or whatever. So street toting is that thing. But yeah, and that's the thing. Ironically, you say, "Oh, penny, 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 buy this penny hot cross buns, want a penny, two a penny." Yeah, Catholics, right? It's because this stuff doesn't cost, for starters. This stuff would cost less than a penny to produce and make and sell. And two, for a good part, it's quite hard to give things away. So a lot of the stuff I'm going to be like, penny sell. I'll sell things for a penny then. If it's going to sell things, I'll sell it for a penny. So I might be doing some of that. And then, I might do capitalist stuff just to prove it can be done. Because if that's the only way into the market is by actually selling it, then I'll do that as well. And I'll call that the C mind. Because, this sort of capitalism. Yeah. So I'll do all that really. But my philosophy is people are trying to make money, which is obviously hard enough as it is. I think that leaves a lot of room for brilliance if you give it away. You might think, what? Idiot. But if you stick with it, it proves itself. I mean, this is England, after all. It's not only a cross on the flag, big red cross on the flag, which is pretty much the symbol for, free health. But, it's quite good at what it does. And, pennies and Red Cross and all these sorts of things, they're like, that's like England, isn't it? And that's pretty much as English as it gets. So there's other stuff. But yeah, and a lot of good reason why people come to England for the free healthcare and the prosperous outlooks and the decent people and the institutes and all these sort of things have been squandered. And I don't know, maybe, I might have said this in another episode, potentially manufactured economically because the strain on, England probably doesn't want to close its borders to people because, we want to be decent for the world, but, it's an island. Still a lot more space and still very welcoming, but hopefully we can sort out some of the other places as well around the world. And sort out their sort of, because I don't know, where I was talking to this person in Europe and stuff, like places in Europe, they don't really have minimum wages and stuff. It's disgraceful, honestly. It's quite sad. And it's not necessarily the worst thing though, because I am personally, I believe in being paid less is good because you can actually buy more things. I mean, that sounds strange. You might have less security in that matter, but to me, less money is better than more money in many respects because you can have more money. And I can also live on quite a tight budget as well. So really quite content in a lot of these European countries. And, I'm quite, I I know I'm not saying Europe's bland. I know a lot of Americans say, oh, England's proper bland, everything's all well bland. But I know they don't be like that, do they? But I love bland. I love bland stuff. And hot sauce. I love hot sauce. Um, and like place things from around the world. You know, your delicacies or whatever, delicatessens or whatever, not delicatessens, but like pastries and stuff. But England's very pastry based anyway, or used to be anyway. But yeah, I like my bland stuff. I'm totally if you're still watching this. Totally forgotten what I was talking about. Money, stuff about money. So yeah, business. Hopefully, I'm gonna obviously what I'm saying is I'm gonna be quite busy with the business stuff if I can actually manage to get it done. And obviously, I'm quite dyslexic, and as I say, I work for free and give away pretty much all of it. So if you want to work with me, you know, feel free to get in touch. Small time, big time, anytime. If I don't endorse you, I won't work for you. If you are up and coming, I will expect you to work to my standards because, the Christianity thing, the fair trade, all that sort of stuff. So I will not work with people, etc. And probably quite difficult to work with. But if it's turning over money, then you could probably be entitled to all of that. I might have some benefactors, and I might say I want to be putting, but money into certain places, but I can make money other places. And if it's your idea as well, I like to inspire idea. It's another one of my beliefs is to not tell people what to do and have them discover it themselves in ways, and obviously like prompt it and use things, but sort of I feel like it's sort of a way that I've been taught as well is sort of like problem solving comes from situation and stuff, and a lot of funny stuff comes from that as well, rather than just telling someone what to do, which can be important telling people what to do, helpful, especially if you ask. But if you have someone think of an idea on their own, you can potentially come up with more ideas and better ideas. So that's something I like to do. So yeah, we could initiate stuff together, and hopefully in the future I will be able to facilitate people, small time people, to do what they believe in. So that's exciting. It's all good stuff. So be supporting you. I've got good stuff for you. I've got, as I said, I've got loads of stuff made for you. It's gonna be brilliant. It's gonna be brilliant, and you can give me a penny or something if you like, or do exactly what I tell you to. Or I don't know, argue with me if you like. Yeah, do what you want really. Just don't do that. Okay, and I'll leave it on that because that's good advice. And yeah, I feel like there's something else important I had to say, but that's pretty much as important as it gets. And I'll see you later. And yeah, have a good Halloween, everybody. If I don't see you before then, hopefully I will. Hopefully I'll do a Halloween special as well. So, love you very much, everyone. Remember, you can do what you like, just don't do that.